What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, I got another video for you today. This one's really cool because this is my first time getting my hands on a Lionsteel knife. Went to SHOT Show 2024, was walking around doing some interviews with companies and stuff, and I was like, you know what, Lionsteel here, I need to go check them out. I got to see what the hype is about, and I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not disappointed, man. This thing is very, very nice, and we're going to get into this, okay? So pretty much, when you get one of these, it's going to come in a box like this. You're going to crack this bad boy open. This particular model, has a very nice leather sheath. Get the knife out. There's a little bit of a, what do we got in here? Else in the box. So we got a cool Lionsteel sticker. Check that out. And then there is excuse me, not a catalog, but it kind of gives you some, it's a quality certificate, activation of warranty, then it gives you a little bit of information about like the different knife steels and stuff, right? So then what else you're going to have in there is obviously your knife. So let's take this out, because this is what we want to see, right? We want to see the knife. So it's got this nice little, they use a piece of pool noodle or something to help protect the edge so you don't cut yourself in the box. That's pretty much what's all in the box. So set that off to the side. But guys, what we have here is the T5, the legendary T5. Now this knife has been around for quite a while. I don't know how I missed it or it flew under my radar, but when I was at SHOT Show, I was like, okay, I gotta have this one. This is the one I want to do a review on to start off for Lionsteel, because this one was just really cool. I think this fits a wide range of task. It's got for size, weight, camp knife, utility, self-preservation. I think this is a really good just all-around package, and there were some really cool features to this knife that I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know this thing existed, and I don't know how. I'm like, flew right over my head. But man, this sucker's made in Italy. Lionsteel's made in Italy. I mean it's just beautiful knife. And you know what, this ain't gonna do it justice. Let's flip this camera around, give you that nice up close look at it, so I can point out some of the really cool features that I thought were neat to this knife, and I'll also give you the specifications while we're looking at it. So stand by. Let me pause this real quick, and we'll hook that up. All right, everybody, we are back. So let's get this knife in the sheath and show you guys what we're looking at with the sheath here. So this is a really nice looking leather sheath. It's got a nice retention strap here. So here you have a nice kind of black leather sheath, double stitched all the way around, good welts. You can see that all the way through. Nice retention strap here. Although I'm not a huge fan of these, because I more often than not wind up cutting them, and so then they wind up cutting them off. I wind up cutting them off anyway. But one of the really cool things about this sheath that I'd never seen before in a knife, not to say that it didn't exist, but it's something I hadn't seen, was it has a built-in MOLLE, leather MOLLE. So you could pop this snap right here, run it through out, and then you can actually strap this leather sheath to MOLLE if you'd like. So I thought that was really cool. It's a very interesting kind of concept. Overall, everything is nice and tight, looks good. A couple little loose strings up here, not a big deal. You can always kind of burn those off or whatever, but other than that, this is a beautiful sheath. You can run your belt right through here. This would be your belt loop, nice and tight. But pop this off, right? You still got, even without the strap, there's still really good retention. Look, straps off, not coming out. So if you accidentally did cut this off, you're still going to get really good retention, but the knife slides right out when you pull it. So very well made sheath overall. Very cool feature with the built-in MOLLE, so that's pretty neat. So if you did want to strap this to a combat vest or belt or something like that, you could easily do that. But here it is, guys. This is the Lionsteel T5. This is the PVD coated stonewashed model with my Micarta handles, nylock steel. Let me give you guys the overall specs on this real quick before I kind of gave you some of them just now, but got my little cheat sheet here I write this stuff down on. There we go. Kind of like my little logbook here, if you will. So this is my Lionsteel T5 PVD coated stonewash finish. You got a total length of 9.92 inches, blade length of 5.4 inches. So you got a nice 5-inch blade. Blade thickness of 0.20. Got a nice taper here. You can see that. coming down to a nice point. Total weight is 9.6 ounces. It doesn't give me the weight with the sheath. Again, the sheath's not that heavy, so I would figure you're probably coming in at about somewhere between maybe 12 and 13 ounces of total weight. That's maybe going even over a little bit. You have a nylock stainless steel. It's a micarta handle, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, and a leather sheath. And this is designed by, now I might pronounce this wrong, and if he's watching this, sir, I greatly apologize if I say your name wrong. I know it's I don't want to say Europe. It's an overseas name, if you will. I don't want to assume where you're from. Michel Pensato, or I'm kind of throwing a little extra on that. Michel Pensato, but his nickname is Molietta, or Moletta. I could be wrong on that. We'll look at the knife. You guys decide. And sir, if I mess that up, I greatly apologize. Lionsteel, I'm sorry, but here it is, the Lionsteel. You can see right there, Italy, made in Italy, nylocks, and there is Moletta right there, the nickname. But so check out this micarta handle. Very, very nice. Screws right here holding in place. Now you want to know what I've never seen before? Look at the front of the knife. Look at this micarta. Well, is it a hidden tang knife? Nope, it's a full tang knife. I had never seen the micarta handle milled out where they nested the full tang into the handle, so you have the micarta over the front still, so you still have full tang strength and not like necessarily a rat tail blade. You can see it comes all the way down here. Just very, very cool. I had never seen that before, and I was like, holy crap, and that's nice. But it gives it, man, this blade has such a nice feel. I mean, this fits perfect in my hand. I wear XL gloves. This nice generous comes up here. This is all nice and rounded, but it's got enough texturing where it's going to grip your finger, but you don't have to worry about your hand sliding up and accidentally cutting yourself. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, this thing is wicked sharp, crazy sharp out there. The thing is, I mean, it's just, look, you got a nice place you could put your thumb right here. Oh, it just feels so good. I mean, this is just a great, I'm really shocked that I had missed this one for so long. And I'm, you know, I've had this for a couple of days. I haven't, you know, got back from SHOT Show, and then I was like been working and other things, so that I'm just now getting to the video. But I mean, it just feels, I've been holding it and trying different things, kind of just rolling it around in my hand at home, and like reverse grip right here, it tucks right into that webbing of your palm, so you can do those pull cut. I mean, it just feels really good, and it just looks damn good as well. But you know what, I know you guys are anxious to see this bad boy at work, so let's get this camera flipped back around and let's get to it. All right, we are back, got the camera flipped around, ready to do some crazy cool combat. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to just cut some regular old stuff, because that's what we do here at Straight Edge Knives. I show you guys what an average guy like me, I'm not crazy trained, I'm not a bushcraft expert. I just kind of show you what most average people are going to probably kind of do with their knife. You know, and if you want to take it up a notch and get some training, or maybe you're already up a notch, you know, maybe this will give you a good idea of maybe not, you might want this knife. I would think, just from initial impressions, haven't got into the cutting obviously yet, but my initial impressions is this thing feels damn good. Really like the way it feels. Makes me feel like I can do some really cool, right? Shout out to my buddy Tactical Tavern, Tomas. He does a lot of that really cool stuff. Go check out his channel. Anyway, let's get to it. Enough about that. Here is the old catalog for the old stab test, and you know, kind of want to show you guys real quick how catalog paper, right? I'm hitting, you see all my little stab marks here. That's why the blade's stopping, but look at that. I mean, the thing's stupid sharp. Like, let's come in and do some stabbing. And bam, right there is the tip all the way through the catalog. Let's do that again. Right there's the tip. That's what she said. Oh yeah, it's just not a straight edge knife video if I don't throw that stupid joke in there. But you know, if you had to come back here and you could actually choke back a little bit. It does have a nice lanyard hold. If you had to choke back a little bit and do like a little kind of little whip chop, or a little get back, you know, get back, crazy vampire, you know, you can do that. But let's hit this. This is the spine edge of the catalog. Let's do a little whip chop on that edge and see. This is a little thicker, so let's see what we can do here. Bam. So it cut through. Didn't cut through all the way. Cut about halfway through the spine. I didn't think it was going to cut all the way through it because of the spineness, but the spineness, if that's a word. But oh, well, there with the very corner of the spine, hit it just right. But nice clean cuts into that. Let's right here. Well, that's kind of halfway off. Been cutting on this thing, so I need to find a new one. But oh, you can see. Look at that. It's almost like a little making what is it when you used to make the snowflakes in school? So man, I mean, it's got some, you know, definitely got some cutting power to it. Let's see this, check this out. That tip looks really good, but hey, you know, you gotta really test that tip. Man, look at that. That went, my finger's right here. Let's wiggle this out, not cut myself. Well, actually, we can kind of see it with the dirt. Stuck it that far into the stump. Very nice. Let's look at that tip. Nothing wrong with that tip. That's what she said. Again, I gotta throw those in there. Stupid. I know. Anyway, got some cardboard. You know, maybe you don't need this for any cool, like crazy tactical application, and you work at a warehouse. You got to break down a lot of, you know, boxes or something like that. And this is, but maybe they're thick boxes. I don't know. This ain't thick cardboard, but come in, break your boxes down, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's gonna hold up. Just, you know, you're gonna do that type of work, no problem. Let's say you're out and about. I know I like giving scenarios. I don't know why, but I like to use this hose basically to represent what could be a radiator hose, a water hose, some sort of any type of rubber plastic hose. I do need to get some rubber sandblast hose. I'm hitting my buddy Scab up over at Fireboard's Color. Hey, send me some of that stuff you cut up, man. But you know, if you had to come in and cut a piece of this off, look at that, nice clean cut, no problem. You had to, I don't know, whatever reason, had to cut that in half. You could kind of come in, do a little press cut. Whoop. There you go, cut it right in half, no problem. Stab into this. Look at that, cutting right through it. No problem. You had to come in here, for whatever reason, cut down this way. Barely a little pressure, cut right through it, no problem. One of the things I kind of like about this blade, or that I noticed, and I don't even know if this is a design feature or it's just something that, I don't know, I noticed. Maybe other people who have had the T5 in their hands know this as well or noticed it. And if you have, please leave a comment below. I'd like to hear about it. And but if you look down the blade, you can see the generous micarta on both sides. Kind of acts like a little thumb shelf. You could rest your thumb on there if you need to, or even on this side, or you can even pinch grip up here and pull the blade in tight to your hand if you're doing some kind of crazy pinch pull cut or something. So I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe it's a design feature, I don't know, but I like it. Let's get into this. This is the ridiculous fire hose. This is legit fire hose that had been used on an actual fire truck. It is 6 layers. There's an outer canvas layer, there's an inner canvas layer with rubber glued inside of that inner canvas layer. So when you're cutting all the way through this, my head itches, guys, you're cutting through 6 layers. This stuff is cut and abrasion resistance because it's used in fires. It's going through buildings that are falling down. It's going through car wreckage, blood, guts, glass, all that stuff. I don't see any blood or guts on this, thankfully, but it's very, very cut resistant and abrasive resistant, and it's difficult to cut. And we're going to cut through it and see how it does. Ooh, man, this Nylox. Cut through that clean. Look at that. That was a nice clean cut right there. I've had other knives that are super sharp, have a difficult time doing that. And I'll tell you what, this hose acts like sandpaper and does knock a little bit of your edge off. It doesn't dull it, but it knocks just a little bit of that razor sharpness off. And I'm not feeling that right here. Let's see if we can. You can see that, but it's, you can see right there on the blade, it's still shaving hair off my arm right there. Wife gets on to me all the time because she's like, damn it, Jason, quit shaving the hair off your arm. You got all these bald spots. That's how you know a knife guy. You meet a knife guy, right? You see those bald spots on the arm. But let's stab through this. So it's actually, this is kind of a, I'm doing it this way so you guys can see the blade, but this actually doesn't even feel bad at all. Right here, I can grab it like this. This choil right here is up on my palm, so I'm not worried about my hands slipping down on the blade, but you could thumb over the top and look at that. Left the tip there in the stump and cut damn near all the way through this. You can see it pretty much almost, it did cut through right there, and then it kind of came out probably from me pulling it. Look at that, cut through it, no problem. That's pretty impressive. This PVD coating still looking really good, still got that nice edge. So let's get on to the rope. So say you got to cut some rope, we're gonna come in here. So there is like a little sharpening choil down here, so you got to watch it that your rope doesn't get in there, because it like right here I'm caught on that, right? So I can't, it's like just hooked into that little choil, so you got to watch out for that. But bam, cut through there, no problem. You had to come in here, do like a little saw cutting through that, no problem. Let's take it up to the bigger boy rope, right? This stuff is very fibrous, very rough on a blade, very rough on an edge because of just the material. It kind of, again, acts like sandpaper in a way. If you had to come in, let's say you wanted to do, so I'm going to kind of do like a reverse cut. I got the knife reverse right here. Kind of scary. It looked like I was pointing at my face there for a second. Bam. Cut through it, nice clean cut. Let's say it was an emergency and you had to get through this rope fast and you had to chop it, right? Look at that. Blew through it, separated its pieces because it's like a twined up rope. Able to chop through that, no problem. If you had to get through this rope, this bad boy can do it. It still feels good. Man, I really like the way this thing feels. Right here, you have some pressure, air compressor hose. This stuff's rated for 3,000 PSI, so it's very tough, very stiff. I mean, it's designed to hold, massive amounts of pressure, not blow up in your face. And so it's, it's kind of hard to cut. So let's come in here, let's cut a chunk off. Bam, slice through that, no problem. If you had to, I don't know, whatever reason, split this in half. And if you guys don't know, this hose actually is like reinforced with some sort of a nylon fibrous string. I'm not sure what it is. And again, if you guys know, please comment below, let me know. I like to learn stuff. But bam, come in, cut that in half, no problem, easily. Let's say again you had to hurry up and cut the hose, piece won't fly in that way, but you could come in and do a chop and chop right through that. Let's check this edge. Still feels really good. I don't see any rolling, chipping, or glinting. From what I understand, from what I've read and kind of been told, man, this Nylock stuff is supposed to be really, really good, tough stainless steel. So maybe if you're in a wet environment, you live in Florida or South Carolina, somewhere where it's humid or things like that, this might be a really good choice for you as a blade because of that stainless steel. It's going to be a lot more corrosion resistant. So, something to keep in mind. Here we got the old extension cord, obviously 3 pieces of copper wire that are all sheathed and protected around another sheath. So this is, not the easiest thing to cut sometimes, but I like to do this to put that, test that edge out, right? So if you got to come in here and chop a little piece of this off, bam, do a little whip chop, cut some off nice and clean right through that copper wire. If you had to come in and strip this wire, get these other pieces out for whatever reason, let's say you got stranded, you're having a hard time making a fire, and you're like, crap, what am I gonna do? Well, if you have your flashlight, you could easily take your knife, and let's say for whatever reason you have an extension cord or any type of wire in your car that you can get out and not ruin your car, or could even be your phone charger. You know, you could break this stuff down, you know, get out these two pieces like so, kind of strip these off, expose that wire, you know, and definitely leave some for you to put your fingers on, because when you do this, these wires can get hot. But if you expose the wires, you know, stripping them off. I don't know why I'm going into super detail about doing this. I think you pretty much get the idea of what I'm going at here. So let's say you got your two wires right here. You got the stuff all stripped off, the copper's exposed, your fingers are safe down here. You could take these two wires, maybe expose the two wires down here at the end, or twist them together. Put these two to the end of your battery. It should heat up the other end and hot enough to where you can start a fire. It should. Not guaranteeing that, but it should. Give it a try. Try it at home. Get some old wire, put them together, see if we can start a fire. You know, it might save your life one day. You never know. So, damn it, now I'm going to challenge myself to do that. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to do that. We're going to start a fire. I'm going to do a reel starting a fire like that, just for you guys. So, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button so you guys can see that. So, it'll be awesome. Getting a little ahead of myself. So here, we got a leather belt here. If you had to cut a piece of this off, like let's say something happened, you had to cut a belt off of somebody, you know, you kind of come in here, slip it in, bam, do some nice, you know, cuts there, cut the belt off if you needed to. Come in here, do some, you know, shave some chunks off if you needed to. Really, the reason why I do that is just to show you guys, like, cutting different materials. Jean material, you know, car accident, you know, boating accident, somebody's got their cut off jeans short. You're out at Lake Havasu during spring break and you're like, man, I need me some jean booty shorts. Somebody cut these pant legs off, you know, bam, they're gonna come in here, you're gonna be walking around, booty cheeks flapping, having a good old time, drinking some margaritas at Lake Havasu, picking up all the whatever floats your boat, right? So there you go. You could make some jean shorts if you needed to. Let's go. So now we're going to get into a little bit more of the woodland craft survival stuff, if you will. If you had to come in and make a feather stick or something to that effect, or let's say you needed to do some shavings, I'm trying to find a good piece of wood here that I can hold and not. It's like, let's just nah, I don't like that piece. Let's say I don't like that piece either. Where did that piece go? I had a piece I was using for another video earlier, and can't see. Oh, there it is. Got buried. So here's just a piece of wood, right? Let's say you had to do make some feathers, some feather curls and stuff, right? So you can come in here, kind of pinch up on the back of the blade if you wanted to. I'm trying to find a good spot to rest this so it don't fall off like that. You had to make some fine curls. Come in here, do some real good light. Look at that. Nice little curl shavings there. And you know, I used to do this really fast and they would always go flying everywhere. And then I was watching Joe Flowers do this to build a fire, and he was just going nice and slow, just cutting them off, and they were just falling right in front of him, so he didn't have to go scrambling in the grass and dirt trying to find them everywhere. So that was really cool. I was something I never realized, you know, when you're doing these kind of little things like this, you know, you don't have to go fast. You can go slow and a little bit more control. It's safer and it's less work on you. You're not wearing yourself out as fast, right? But look at that. You could easily sit here for about 10, you know, not even 10 minutes, probably a few minutes. Get you a nice pile of really fine curls to help start your fire. Not a problem. If let's say you had to make a tent stake, right? So here's just like a wood dowel. You found a stick in the woods. You're like, oh, actually, let's do that. Here's a tree branch stick, right? This might be all you can find. You're not going to be able to find a perfectly good round stick like that. I got to make a little tent stake out of this, right? So let's chop a little bit of these little pieces off right here. Bam, right there. So you could do it one of two ways, right? You could come in here and slice off your pieces, or if you do it right here nice and if you're in a hurry, I mean, obviously you could just slice them, but if you wanted to save your pieces for your fire, you could easily come in here again and go nice and slow and cut them off. But we're in a hurry, right? So you come in here, storm's coming, you got to batten down the hatches, if you will. Chunk it, just, I mean, it's just slicing it off, no problem. Make yourself a nice little tent steak, aka vampire snake spear, if you will. Darn tree frogs are coming at you because they're vampiric. Bam. Nice little pointy stick there. So you had to notch this, right? I've never actually done this, so this is going to be kind of cool. You had to notch this so it'll hold your rope. So let's do a little notch. Do a little. So we're going to go right there, and we're going to do another one right here, and then we're going to dig this little chunk out. This is going to be our notch. So I'm going to come in here, shave this out. Guys, I'm learning things here, guys. We're learning, right? If you're an average, I've never done this, so this is kind of cool. Average Joe, show you guys that it can be done. The only reason why I kind of know about this is I've seen other people do it on videos. So, bam. Let's get that little piece out of there like that. So it's nice and even. Look at, you can stick that in the ground and then hook your rope around there, and it's gonna lock onto here, and bam, tent stake. Cool. We know it can do it. No problem. Let's do some baton, a little bit of batoning with this bad boy, right? Now, I don't think you want to go, this is thick enough knife where you could definitely do some batoning with it. I don't know if you want to necessarily go ham bone and go through a big old giant log, but because you're going to run out of real estate. But this is a, you know, decently thick sized wood dowel. No problem. Went right through that. Gave it a pretty nice clean cut. It kind of broke off there right at the very end, you can see. But you know, if you needed it nice and flat for whatever reason, you can come in here. It's a wood dowel, so it cracks real easy. Broke that piece off, but still pretty nice and flat. Not a problem. You had to, what else were we gonna do? Oh, like I said, if you had to do some light batoning, here's a piece, right? It's not the thickest, but again, you're not gonna baton through this guy with this. Like, there's just not enough real estate. It's just not gonna work, right? That's why sometimes they say the one knife option, it have to be a pretty big knife. So I think, you know, 2 knives is good. 3 even better sometimes. Depends on what you're doing. Where are you going? I don't know. I'm talking out of my rumpus. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. So anyway, we're gonna baton through this real quick, guys, and we're gonna, you know, test that edge. Testing that handle material. How does it hold up, you know? Bam. Look at that. So interesting. You saw it kind of blow apart right there at the very end. Well, right here where my finger is a knot. And when that knife hit that knot, and I hit that last time, it just, pow, it just blew that board apart. So put a lot of, you know, stress on the edge, right? Damn. That's still pretty damn sharp. So we're batoning through this stuff, and we're hitting stuff, and this still got a real toothy edge to it. I mean, it's still feels good. The handle looks right and tight. It's not coming apart. I mean, it's doing damn good, guys. So let's say, here we go. No, not that one. Yeah. Oh, let's say you had to do some light chopping, right? I don't know what I was thinking. Let's do it this side, right? We're gonna another vampire steak in a way. Let's say you had to do some light chopping. You're in a hurry. Bam. Had to make a wedge of some sort. Bam, you can chop right down through there, make a wedge. Had to clean that up, make it a little bit smoother. you know, you're going to try to wedge this under a rock and get some leverage, right? You gotta, probably don't need it super smooth, but look at that, smooth it out. So light chopping, not a problem. But you know what I think we do need to do? I think we do need to do a little bit heavier chopping, and let's do it on, if I can reach it here, the 4x4. All right, guys, so this is a 4x4. You can see I've done quite a bit of chopping on it with other knives. We are going to go chopping right here on this kind of clean spot right here, and see if I can hold this right. So here we go. We're gonna do 30 hits, right? See what we can do. Oh, we're gonna dig in right there. That's one. I think I might have did 31 there, but I was able to choke back all the way to here. This little swoop kind of locked in between these two fingers, so it gave me a little bit of extra whip power, right? There it is, 30 hits on the 4x4 with a 5-inch blade. That's actually not bad. Say we had to flip it up here and take some other, you know, chunks off, deflecting off here, hitting my stump. I mean, we're putting some pressure on that edge, right? Not a problem. I don't see any chipping or any rolling on that edge, guys. Held up fine. Nothing on the back. The handle's still good, guys. Oh, you know what? Let me do this real quick. So here is a chunko brick. I broke this with a hammer the other day. There is a slightly exposed little pommel right here. So let's you know, I wouldn't say, definitely don't want to be hitting on the micarta down here in the flat spot too much. So if you had to maybe hammer something in and you had some control, you could easily come in and do that. And again, this little shelf right here that I was talking about, I can rest my thumb on there. It keeps my hand in place so I don't accidentally smash my finger. No problems. No problems at all. It's just little marks on the brick. It's a brick, but everything looks good. Everything looks tight then. So again, that's a good test on this knife too, because like I said, this is a nested, it's nested in here in the micarta. It didn't knock it out, didn't knock it loose. These bolt screws that they have in here are holding it in place very nicely. Holds up great. So guys, I think for a good 5-inch knife, if you're looking for a good 5-inch utility, all around, I mean, this would be a good, I've never been in combat, guys, so I can't speak to that, but I think this would be, if you need a good 5-inch solid blade for just about anything, this is definitely worth looking into, guys. This Lionsteel Nylock steel is pretty damn tough. It's holding a really good edge, great edge. Just drop this up, it'll be back to probably hair popping sharp. I mean, tip's in great shape, guys. Definitely go check out the Lionsteel knives. I'll have a link below to their website. Man, this thing is really cool. I like it a lot. It feels super comfortable in the hand, and you know, combine that with this nice leather sheath. I mean, you could easily walk around town with a very capable self-preservation blade, but not look overly intimidating with the tactical kydex, if you will. This has for as much of a combat utility type blade this can be, it has a very classy look still. So definitely go check out Lionsteel knives. Check this blade out. I mean, they have a satin finish also, and they have a larger version of this. I believe it's a 7-inch blade, and I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on that bad boy and do a review on it. And because this is a pretty damn impressive knife, and I would suggest picking one of these up. It's got my seal of approval if that means anything to you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button. Like, if you got any comments about the blade or anything that I do, please feel free to leave them. You know, I always like reading, you know, constructive criticism. You know, if you don't like the video, cool, don't comment, just keep on scrolling. I'm fine, you know, whatever. But I greatly appreciate it. And if you got, you know, friends out there that like this type of stuff, you know, please feel free to share the video, share the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that as well. Help it grow, help, you know, get some more viewers, and help spread the word about knives, and that, you know, people may be interested in. So thanks again, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.